Good morning, class. I hope you're doing very well today. My name is Janek Z Arts, and today we're jumping onto the topic on how to make your art learning journey easier or a bit shorter. I'm going to talk about some things that could potentially improve, let's say, your art learning journey by shortening its length or maybe making it a bit more enjoyable for you. I'm going to try to make this video a little bit shorter than normally, since I don't want to bore you with focusing on one single subject, and also partially because I'm recording this video on the day that it was supposed to be released. So yeah, thank you for the support of the channel, and let's get right to the video. So the first thing that I can recommend is joining any sort of art course or art lessons that you can have. It is a very nice tip that if you want to improve your art style but don't really have the resources to do it yourself or don't know where to start, then my best advice would be to just join an art course, an art class, or any sort of, let's say, school that teaches you to draw. So the first advice: join an art course, join art classes, because it will improve your journey, since you will have actual professionals teaching you how to do certain stuff. You will have a large amount of resources to actually see the different techniques or the different people that you can reach out to ask about different techniques, different, let's say, art styles, different materials to use and stuff like this. So this is a very good way to actually improve, let's say, your drawing skills while also shortening your art learning journey, because you will actually learn with supervision of a professional or someone that has been in the art field for like a very, very long time. I personally can recommend it because it helped me a lot with understanding perspective and understanding shading, which is something that I feel like I myself wouldn't have been able to understand that much if it wasn't for the fact that I joined an art course in a very early stage of my life. Mind you that I am going to the same art course for, I think it is 5 years at that point, so I may be a little bit biased, but apart from that, I really recommend you join an art course. The second thing that you can do if you want to expand your journey and, let's say, make it a bit shorter, is experimenting with different techniques. If you stick to one single, let's say, utensil, you're just drawing with a pencil and you don't do anything else, then of course you could argue that your journey will be shorter because you don't waste your time drawing with different stuff and you don't really try out different materials. But I would argue that this is actually a disadvantage, since you're not used to doing any sort of new techniques, and if you are actually willing to try something new, then boom, you don't know what to do. My advice is to experiment with different stuff, and if, for example, let's say, get burned out with using one single thing, then jump to a different one. And this is something that I can recommend, especially if you are sticking to only drawing, let's say, with pencil or paper for some period of time. Jump to an ink pen, then jump, let's say, between different utensils, and then maybe try digital art, so you can have different perspectives and different ways of drawing, so you can try out some things that you, for example, would have never known that you actually enjoy. So let's say you only draw with a pencil, then you jump to an ink pen and you found out that you actually enjoy drawing with it even more. This is another advice that I can give, that you jump between different stuff, you jump in between different techniques, and this can be something that is also beneficial for your future art journey, since you, for example, are faced with a task that you are going to draw something with something new, and you already know the basics, you already know how it works, you already know how to shade different stuff, you already know how to experiment with it. So this can be something that you are prepared for in the future, if, for example, are willing to go to an art school that requires some sort of test or something that you need to prove, let's say, your skill. So the second thing that I can recommend is just experimenting with different techniques, experimenting with different utensils, or just jumping in between different forms of art or different forms of your drawing. Now, the third thing is kind of correlated to the second one, but on the topic of jumping between things, draw multiple things at once. And I'm not talking about that, you have one drawing that you want to do and you just do another one instead. I'm talking about if you are practicing your drawing skills, then practice different things and don't really stick to one of them. What I mean by this is, if you want to actually get good at drawing, then you need to practice a lot of stuff. You'll have to. It is very good to practice sketching boxes, which is something that, you can base your every single drawing that you can think of out of, which I have proved multiple times on this channel. And you can practice, let's say, sketching in different art styles, different utensils. So you can practice anatomy, perspective, all the basics of something that is is defined by a good art style and good drawing. So the first thing that I can recommend is just jumping between different practices with different things that you can draw. You draw boxes on one day, then the second day you draw anatomy, the third day you draw perspective, the fourth day you experiment with colors and stuff like that. So it's something that you can find to be enjoyable, and also you need to accept that on some days you will have to practice something that you don't really find enjoyable, but it is vital for you to understand first of all drawing skills and expand your drawing skills to a different level. I am, for example, someone that didn't really do that because I only drew one single thing for a very long part of my life, and now I am finding myself in a situation that I don't really have that much skill to draw people, for example, because I never really paid that much attention to that, which is something that I want to change now. And I'm trying to improve myself by doing some sketches from time to time with people only, and not really that much different stuff, because when it comes to architecture, for example, then I am very good at this, I would say, since I have been practicing that for a very, very long time. And this is not something that I would recommend you do, because you're just focusing on one thing and you can actually forget different skills. So summing up, jump between different things and practice different stuff to make your art journey easier, since you will learn how to do stuff quicker. And the fourth thing that I can recommend is sketching. I am so profound on this. I will die on this hill. If you want to be good at drawing, sketch as much as you can possibly do. If you're going on a walk, bring a sketchbook with you. If you're going on a trip, bring a sketchbook with you. If you're even bored, just draw something, because even if you think that this won't really improve you and your sketches look very bad, I am going to say this, and trust me, over time you will improve. Your sketches will look better, your art skills will improve, because you are used to drawing quickly and drawing a lot of details in a short time span, and you always can bring a sketchbook with you wherever you're going, and this is a great skill to master. This is a very vital skill for you to, let's say, understand if you want to be good at drawing. This is something that I will always say: if you want to be better at drawing, then sketch wherever you can, whatever you can. I'm not even saying that you need to sketch something very, let's say, complicated to be better. You can sketch anything. You can just, I don't know, look at your, let's say, laptop and just draw it. You can look at your room and recreate it or something. You can look at a tree and just draw it. So if you want to be better at drawing, always practice sketching and always bring a sketchbook wherever you're going. This is going to be so much better for your art learning journey, and this is going to improve your skills so much. This is like the last thing for this video, but be consistent. If you want to be better at drawing, then you also obviously need to have, let's say, some practices from time to time. And don't have this mindset that I will do one thing once a month and that's it, because you're going to make your journey extremely long and it won't really improve. So I would recommend doing, let's say, one sketch max once a week. And this is something that I kind of struggle with myself, because I tend to not really have motivation to draw that much on certain days, so I am not really a good example that you should follow. But what I can recommend you is just try and have a consistent, let's say, schedule of where and when you're going to draw something, or let's even sketch like 5 minutes, 10, it is still good. Just remember to be consistent and remember to have like a good, let's say, timetable on when you're drawing something. Once a day is good, once every 2 days is good, once even every 3 days is good, once a week even is good, I would say. Just take your time to, let's say, draw something and being consistent with it, because it will improve so much. And the last very thing I want to say in this video is that you also should believe in yourself. If you find your drawing journey to be grueling, to be long, to be, I don't know, something that you think should end at this point, trust me, it will feel like this at the very start, as with everything that you can do to improve yourself. If you're trying something new, then you obviously are starting from the zero. If you are trying something that you never did before, then obviously you won't really have that much skill in it. So the best advice that I can give for now is believe in yourself. If your journey feels like it is long, it will feel like it at the start, but from some point, if you are consistent and if you are actually passionate about drawing, you will improve. Your drawings will improve. You also will find yourself that you are drawing stuff easier. You can capture more detail in a shortened time span, and you also will feel better about yourself. So believe in yourself, be consistent, and your drawings will improve. You will be better, and don't ever give up on it. I am going to also say this every single time. never give up on your art learning journey. Alright, so I think this is it for today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. I know this video kind of connects with a couple more that I did some time ago, but this is something that I wanted to, let's say, bring up again, since it is pretty important if you want to actually learn drawing. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section, and Nick is out. Peace.